We start with New York City. We take ourselves out to the ball game to talk about Nick Cushing entering his second year, first as his proper manager, after finishing third in the East with 55 points. I've got him in a 4-3-3 shape right now, because they've only got about 15 players. So this is the best that I can get. I've got Matt Freese in goal, with Tavon Gray, Martins, Chanot, and Kufre in the back four. Parks, Morales, and Justin Hack in midfield three, with Pereira, Magno, and Andrade in the front three.
I'm very similar. I got one change, but it does ultimately change my shape. I've got them in a 4-2-3-1. I've also got Matt Freese in goal, Tavon Gray, Thiago Martins, Maxime Chanot, and then Brian Kufre. Midfield, I've got Alfredo Morelos and Keaton Parks. The attackers behind the striker, I've got Andrade, Matthias Pellegrini, and Gabriel Pereira. And then up top, I've got Tyus Magno.
Interesting. I don't see Pellegrini as a 10 personally. I mean, I'm sure he could play it, but I see him more as a wide player. I was really hoping you were going to say the 14-year-old was going to start at Cam. I needed it in my
No,
veins.
no. I'm not. I'm not that crazy.
Talking about their best edition, then who do you think it is?
I went with Pellegrini, considering I have him starting at Cam. Um, yeah, mainly for that reason, just because I think the only other person I would maybe consider is Brian Kufri, but I feel like they already were kind of okay in that position with Amundsen. I feel like they could have went and got something else. So I'm glad that they went and at least added another attacking option for them because they're kind of thin up there. So that's where I went.
I think it's kind of a. I think it's kind of a weak. I think it's a weak choice personally, considering that he was in the team technically last year, and he played 4 games for them for
Wow,
59
4 games.
minutes
Yeah.
and 10 whole minutes in the playoffs. Yeah, weak pick for me. Give me Matt Freese. I think they're going to give him the number one spot, and I think he finally does take this time to, realize his potential. I think he was never going to get it playing behind Andre Blake, so I think this is a really good chance for him. In terms of losses, there are a lot of them, and you could pick a
Yeah,
lot of people.
you could.
I'm going with Maxi Morales. I think that his impact in that forward third in the attacking phase of the game was just unbelievable for this team. You could see when he was in and when he wasn't in how massive of a change that would be. And they really haven't replaced it yet. Now, again, remember, we're recording this 2 weeks before the season starts. I've heard rumors of a lot of different people could come in the door for New York City, including the return of Santi Rodriguez. But again, I think Maxi is going to be a tough one to replace.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, you could pick a number of people from that list, but I have gone with Sean Johnson. I don't love the addition of Matt Freese in goal, so I think that to me, it's definitely a downgrade in that position. Obviously, Sean Johnson is a veteran and one of the better goalkeepers in this league. So to go from him to Matt Freese, I think is definitely a drop off for them.
Interesting. I'm not really here for the Matt Freese slander. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it.
Well, then we're not going to
Um,
be friends.
please save all of that slander for William Yarborough. Thank you. Um, I'm really interested in a player that I'm watching this year in Gabriel Segal. Right, he was a college player who ended up going to the Cologne system and came back on waivers. He is the only true number 9 on roster right now. They are going to try Tyus Magno at 9, and I'm sure they're going to try a whole bunch of people too. But if that doesn't work, and I'm not sure it will, he may need to step up into a key role for 2023. So interested to see how that works.
Yeah, good shout. I
Thanks,
went
man.
with podcast fan favorite Justin Hack. I
Hack.
think this is a fantastic opportunity for him to get into the mix and get really good minutes this season, considering there are 3 midfielders on the roster, I believe, at the moment. So if they end up going with the 3 midfield formation, like you said, then he'll definitely be in the mix. But even if not, I think he'll definitely still be getting in the mix with Morelos and Keaton Parks, especially if, Keaton's coming back from an injury season. Um, you know, we'll see how he can kind of slide back into things, but I think you're going to see a lot more Justin Hack this season.
Very nice. Well, why don't you go ahead and ask a question to them?
Okay. My question for the NYC fans: can NYCFC, with the time that's left in this window, fill the holes of the people that left?
My question: spare signings, anybody? Spare signings. Spare signings. They're gonna do
That's
anything?
okay. They'll just get some signings from the other Man City teams. I
Not
mean, they're gonna
anymore.
get
Now they're
Santi
gonna have
Rod.
to worry about finances.
That's that's a fair point. But I mean, come on, they got Santi Rodriguez that's potentially coming back. That's a City team that he's coming from.
Yeah, but that's a legal transfer. This isn't like if so. And side tangent is before we move on, which I think we should make a whole episode on. First episode back after we do all our preseason stuff. If Man City get hit really hard with these sanctions, they have to spend a lot of money, like to pay off whatever they've done. Now they have to worry about where their funds are actually going. New York City's getting cut off at the throat. All of that scouting network, all of the loan system, anything that they were doing to finance that team is going to the floor.
Yeah, and they're gonna be in trouble from that. I can tell you that
Yeah, they will.
much. I think
MLS
Man
won't do
City's bailed
anything
them
to
out
them.
on a few. I think Man City's bailed them out on a few occasions, to be honest.
No, I agree. And again, MLS won't punish them because it's not like they did anything, wrong in our system. But
Mhm.
yeah, if your owner isn't going to give you money, you might as well be Colorado.
Yikes! I thought
Sorry,
you
I
were
should
gonna
have
go
said San Jose.
Vancouver.
I should have said Vancouver. You're right.